Okay, this episode, we are going to tackle the back half. We've got our front half figured out. We need to C-notch the frame so we can figure out our suspension height, order the missing pieces for that, and we need to take apart our 9-inch so that we make sure that we have 31 spline axles and not 28. So lots to do in this one. We got Edward Scissorhands already making the template for the C-knot, and I need to give him a hand. So here we go. We got a stroker kit from Scat and AFR heads shipped to Canada, where we will send them to Northtown to get assembled on our 6.2, ship the engine back to California, put it in our project vehicle, then drive it back home again. We're here for just 5 more days.
We can't go any more forward because of that oil pan.
So I'm gonna go scan this right now and then come back with some plates.
So once we do that, we can mount our tires, figure out our stance. Once we figure out our exact stance, we can measure our shocks. Look how beautiful that is. That looks so nice.
So I just stick the same dealio, hold it, and then you take your gloves, which are dirty already.
So
And then,
in my case, just my hands?
Yes, just your hands, and you could just rough up the edges. My gloves aren't that dirty right now, but and then you go around and cut it off. And now the bottom matches. That's close enough. That's why we make little paper templates, and I could measure this, and we're gonna probably have to clean up a little bit because it's not gonna be exactly perfect, but we'll make it as close as it can, and it'll be good.
Where's the exact middle? Yeah. Into the axle. Got a C-notch here to here, and we want to stop right about there, right?
Line's not too bad.
Yeah?
Right now.
I think that looks pretty good. The only thing to do is measure the width of this frame rail and the width of this frame rail, and then put like a level, like a 2x4 something across, and then use that to go right. It's a lot higher than I thought. I'm just gotta go a 1/4 inch underneath that. This is our drawing. I think that'll work. So this will be flush with the top of the box, and we got as much drop as we possibly can. So how much suspension travel do we have there?
The tape measure, Sharpies, and
We have that much suspension travel.
yeah.
About that much. That's not
That's
bad,
like,
right?
That's like a middle finger of Edward Scissorhands.
There you go. Can you make me 2 of those?
Yes.
5 inches, that's
5
not bad.
That's about average amount of suspension travel.
In
right?
America, it's
In America.
6, 7 in Canada.
We got guns though. So this is the template for the C-notch. I'm gonna probably adjust this a little bit on the computer, but I'm gonna take this to get it scanned, and then I could just draw it up in CAD and then just cut it out on the plotting table. So we're not going to touch the top of the frame at all, so it's going to give us a little bit more strength. And in theory, we should be able to just cut right here out, and then the bottom of the frame rail, and then so we'll have a lot more axle clearance. And then we're going to box the top in and the bottom in. So that should be pretty simple. So I'm going to go scan this right now and then come back with some plates to exam. I'm just arraying all the parts to get ready to cut. And then these are all the little bracing for the inside. Maybe I'll cut all those out later. Actually, I'm gonna cut those out first.
Okay, so while Manuel's cutting out the C-notch, I'm going to pull an axle out, count the spline count, and see if it matches our Eaton True Track. I hope they match because I've become especially attached to these axles because they're on the property and they're paid for. I kind of want to use these ones. They have guns, but they're broken.
I cut out one of the C-notch plates. It fits, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut out 4 of these, and then all the bracing for this, and then we could weld her on up. But they go on right there.
I think welder on up is copyrighted. That's another
Welder
show.
on up, not welder up.
Oh, okay, all right.
I'm a big fan, Steve. Say hi, everybody. But anyways, these get welded up like that, and then we could just, I guess we could just tack this up, cut the rest of it out, and then put the new plates on. And then we have a C-notch, and now we could get all super lowrider like.
Yeah, you love low trucks, right?
Yeah, we're in California. We got that southern, well, we're not Southern California. We're Central Coast, but close enough. We got some Mexican roots.
So while Manuel's cutting the other 3, I'll grind all this, clean it off, and I've got a C-notch. Top of the frame rail is not going to be the bottom, and then that's going to be hidden inside because we're going to cut out a piece for here and here. Then we're going to make the same piece on the inside. It's going to be a little bit shorter because it's going to hit this bar, and then weld the top side to it, so you'll never see that extra piece, but it's going to be super strong. And we've got a good amount of travel. I'm happy with that.
I'm just making sure we have enough space on the plate. So I have all the parts arrayed on the, let's say, plate, and then so I'm going to start my start and stop point, bottom right side of the plate, and then that's my starting point, and then it's going to cut about 11 inches by 50 inches, and this will be about, I would say, 15 minutes of cutting, so shouldn't be too bad. So now we have all our pieces, they're ready to weld. Now it's like Legos, so you just piece them together, just like that. And then the frame roll will be right here too. But we're gonna clean all these up and then weld them up.
What is with these oddball frickin' bolt pads?
Okay, so while Manuel's cutting out the plates, I got the axle out, and it is the wrong axle. 28 spline, not a 31. So we're kind of in a jam because it's the wrong bolt pattern for the rim for this axle. So we could re-drill the holes in this one to match the rim and drive it as is. Then we can't install the True Track because that's a 31 spline and this is 28. So instead, Summit to the rescue. They're gonna send out a True Track with 31 spline, axles to match with the multi-bolt pattern, and then we can fit those rims, have a locker, have it rebuilt so it doesn't leak, and we're good to go. But for now, I'm just gonna put it back together again so we can roll it and start grinding the frame so we can weld those C-notches. There we go.
This is super homemade, you know? Like, you can do this with any basic hand tools. You don't even need a welder. Just hand tools and some hopes and dreams.
You don't need it. It's getting cut out. Stop it. It's getting cut out.
sure this is like the most permanent thing. Like this is more than a permanent marker. Like this is on it.
Weld the whole seam on the inside because this is the bottom of it anyway, and then that gets
weld
covered.
it.
But I don't know. Are you a good welder?
I would say I wouldn't say I'm a welder. I definitely can weld. I'm a welder.
Okay. So I thought I was a good welder until I watched Vince weld, and then my welds look like ass.
Well,
So
maybe I'll weld the inside so no one could see it, unless you guys will be able to see it. But I'll weld the inside of it,
and then we'll like.
and then you'll judge. Like, maybe I'll weld it.
Okay.
Or you weld it.
Okay, sounds good. Vince, get your passport.
Okay. Did I pass a weld test?
Pass the weld test. So obviously we weld everything on so we don't have to brace anything. This is the shape of the axle. Now that everything's welded solid, we can cut this out, and then we got plates for the inside as well. We might have to notch this a hair yet because the Panhard bar might hit it. But it's because I'm going up on a big angle. So we just have to notch it a touch more, and then it'll clear. I think if we just do this, like, that's okay.
I feel like we're equal welders.
I think so. Like Vince will tell us that we're the wrong speed and not the right temperature, and the wire speed is slightly wrong, but you know, we could.
I think you weld a little slower than I do.
No, I cranked it up and I speed up.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I turn it up and then I go
Oh.
faster. Yeah.
I was just gonna. I like, what's it called? MIG like TIG.
Yeah.
That's what they call it. But
I like going fast.
I understand.
Yeah.
I would say it's equal.
I think so.
It's a fair.
I will let you weld my stuff anytime.
Sweet.
That's where you say I will let you weld
Oh
my
yeah,
stuff.
that too.
Still hasn't said it.
I would let you weld on anything you want. Yep.
We'll be scraping on the bottom before we bottom out. This will rub on the bottom before we hit, so we can put some nice bump stops there and keep it from going. It's perfect. The turn it like perfect size and everything.
Yeah,
like,
I just hole in my head. I
yeah,
guess.
like
Yeah.
good thing we measured for 20 hours and we like did research and
We didn't measure twice though.
no. We were on a time crunch, so
Slower sometimes is faster. You gotta first finish to first win. Something like that.
okay. So this side's all welded. I gotta weld the bottom on this yet, but we're trying to figure out our Panhard bar. So we've got a 4-link, which is doing this, but we got to keep the axle from going sideways. So we got a kit from QA1, but it's not really designed for what we're doing. So we got to mix and match with what we've got to make it work for our system. The only thing that we can think, can't go over top. Can't go. This is lowrider problems. This is not like when you go up, there's lots of room, but when you go down, it's kind of an issue. But we can't go over top because the pumpkin's in the way. is kind of the ride height that we're thinking. We'll know for sure tomorrow, but since the guys are leaving, they're going to cut me a plate. Basically, the shock is going to be in the way of everything, but the shock is going to go from here to here, and hopefully we can avoid this Panhard bar that the coil is on the top, and it gives us a little bit of, we're hoping we're gonna make a bracket that comes down on here. And if we can't, if the straight bar can't do it, they did give us one with a bend in it, which is in the shop, then we can avoid the shock, come out and then come up, and I can cut the bung in there, weld it to the right spot. But basically we need a bracket with some adjustable holes in here on the bottom of the frame to keep this Panhard bar. And so you want it as long as possible, you want it to be sturdy, and you kind of want it to be parallel with the axle when it's in its ride height. It's kind of impossible where we're doing now, but we're gonna have a bit of an angle, but we're not bouncing like crazy either. So.
I'm used to more suspension travel with the bigger trucks and stuff, but I think this is okay.
That's super crucial when you've got like 2 feet of suspension travel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, yeah. I'm trying to overcomplicate.
We're only going up and down like 2-3 inches.
That's
on,
a lot.
On ride, right? So Manuel's gonna do CAD draw a bracket real quick and cut that out. We're gonna tack that in, and then when the shocks come in, we can weld that solid and make sure that we're avoiding everything and that it all doesn't hit each other and works.
Yes.
Yes.
Hopefully.
It's simple. There's no
when
problem.
When do the shocks hit you?
I gotta order them. We might have them by the end of the week if you're telling the height. But...
Oh, gonna lose the shop. All right, well, I'll design this real quick, and I'll just cut out 2 plates so they're there, and then later on we could brace it in and make it stronger. And...
Yeah, you want to make a plate that comes around the corner, so that like we can weld on the bottom and on the side here.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Maple leaves in it.
Maple leaves, or yeah, dirt cinema.
I'm just gonna cut up a couple holes in it.
Okay,
just
right.
make
you
it.
Just do a couple holes
real fast.
I'm gonna
we'll make it prettier later.
Okay, I'll weld this solid.
Okay, I got your present.
Nice.
They go on right there. Yep. Something like that.
Yeah.
Should have more water in this, but number 2. And I'm gonna clean it up and then tack her on, and then we can have a Panhard bar. Yeah. Got both. I'll sandwich between that. I forget the other misalignment spacer. And it goes right there, and you can adjust it whatever you need.
Yeah, even if it's a tiny bit angle back, I think that's okay. It will clear more of the shot, so I think that's okay. I like that. If that clears this shock, there's a long bolt, but I don't think, like once it's tight, it should be alright. And if not, I'll make like a bracket. No, I can't do that. I'll figure it out. I think that's okay.
Just tats, no welds.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty sick.
It works.
It works.
It works. See, I could build truck, Mom. It's not faith, it's a lifestyle. You can buy my merch online at DEBOSS GARAGE. Is it DEBOSSGARAGE.com? We'll do above average, like a cool slam truck. You're right across.
What's that?
Oh yeah.
Like, they're right there.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's happening? Okay, so I think when John and Emmanuel left, they took all their best tools with them, but as we have one 10mm socket. We should just go buy more, but what do we got? Oh, 3/8. We'll just put it back. All right, so rushed order, and Summit came through. We had a couple parts show up. We've got the axle showing up this morning, so we can continue going with the axle, actually. We got Andy back.
Speaking of showing up,
yeah.
Rush order.
So rush order, we got Andy back. So, Brad?
I think he's still in the box over there. We'll let him out in a bit.
Nice. So we're gonna disassemble this and get ready to start cleaning this and assembling all the goodies for this. So once we do that, we can mount our tires, figure out our stance. Once we figure out our exact stance, we can measure our shocks. But first thing first, we're gonna take it all apart, clean it, and then put it back together. Take that apart.
All right. Blink. Done. Yeah, when Rich said I was supposed to be stripping, I don't think he meant strip off all my clothes. Must have meant parts, I think. But either way, I'm gonna be having this apart, stripped, and I might be naked.
It smells exactly like the oil that comes out of like an old like 9N tractor, just like.
You know, it's just never been changed and it's 80 years old.
Yeah.
It made it to its first servicing and then that was it.
Imagine that. It's like, well, you need, for warranty, you need to change your oil after 100 hours. 80 years later, see? That's baloney.
Kind of like making a great combination. Crazy that that little knurl just keeps the wheel on.
No, it just keeps it from spinning when you pick the nuts off, right?
Oh, I guess it's got a backy to it too.
Yeah.
But without that knurl, that would probably snap right off, right?
Yeah.
Flies up done again.
If we cut it too long and it doesn't go in all the way.
Why did you want to cut it too long? Like in case there's any variance inside?
Because essentially the plate's gonna go right here. That's this plate.
Yeah.
So from this plate to the end of the axle.
And where's that?
So that's 28 1/4. Hope that goes in all the way. So the old ones were a seal bearing, and this is now a taper bearing, so the seal now rides on the outside here. So we just gotta pop the seal up.
Do I like the inside and outside sanded?
Just the that very outside lip where the seal gonna ride.
Okay.
That's all the way?
Oh, it turns it.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Whew. Andy, if you pump it like 12 times, the BB comes up faster.
Looks like we're having medicine for supper, boys. Learning all sorts of things about Ford 9 inches.
So I'm in there, still in. So there I'm out.
So you got lots of.
I got lots of meat in there. I think I'm too long. I think I can take another ½ inch off. Yeah. If you look at the other axle, it was only like that much threads, right? Yeah, because I want to be in just a touch more. Or not? No, I'm okay with that.
Oh, will there be?
It's got an indent in it to hold the seal right where it is. So I think I'm gonna leave it as is. And we're not going anywhere. We just gotta put that plate on it just loosely. But while I'm waiting for batteries to charge, I'm gonna throw a tire on. You wanna do the honors? I've been wanting to do this for an entire week.
Now let me paint it up. Let me make it nice black.
The rim?
No. Oh, I got some grip.
So beautiful. The holes are already the right We're going to clamp it tight until we get the other brakes on, but this will hold it in place for now. So I'm doing the same setup for the Bronco, and I remember the plate that holds it in has a step in there. This one doesn't have it, but I'll just snug it up. And then if that's not the case and we cut our axle too long, we'll figure that out. Next trip, because next trip we'll be installing the brakes and doing some other stuff.
It's gonna be a tasty deer. Thanks, twins.
Got your axle, what's your bet?
I'm betting on Axel, to be honest.
We're gonna get to be good friends soon, aren't we?
See you tomorrow. It's a big jug of syrup. All right, shots.
Nice. Oh, it's exciting.
Looking promising already.
One day, we got us two of these. Got us these shocks in one day. Just fits. That's nice. I gotta trim that to bring it back. But it looks like it'll clear. That's awesome. So I put the wrong bushings in, but QA1 sends both, so I need the 5/8, not the 1/2 inch. I need a small bushing just to clearance that, but I think that's it. Nice. That's basically exactly where I wanted my stance. Oh, life is good. So once we have the weight of the box on there and the cab, nice. A working suspension. Okay, so we've got our 9-inch in, we've got our shocks in, we've got a roller, we got our axles in, our tires on. A couple of things that we didn't finish. We're missing one stud. We ordered the right stud, the right part number, and we got the wrong stud. It's okay, we'll get it next time. We also have a sway bar for the back. The issue is that the brackets to mount it end up right here. And you know what? I think I'm just going to wait, because Manuel does such a nice job on the plasma cutter on the CNC that he can make those little plates. We'll weld them in, make it look like they were supposed to be there, and then the brackets that support the sway bar will mount off of that. So that will be in April though, but that's not it for this series on our January-February trip. So we got more episodes coming up. We're working on the cab in the other shop. We got exhaust that is not in this episode. Look how beautiful that is. It looks so nice. So you'll have to stick around, and it will also be in between the C10 Duramax swap tow truck and the Coyote swap Bronco builds. All of those are getting edited and being worked on at the same time, because that is just the way we work. Now, I want to say that it's been so much fun working here with everybody. Thank you very much to all of our sponsors. Thank you for watching, and thank you for Johnny and Manuel for letting us work in their house.
Venison. Don't cheap out on aluminum foil though. This is terrible.
Wonderful. That makes me happy. We got a roller. Just waiting for one axle. Should show up today.
How's
the pumpkin look?
It's pretty thick.
Yeah.
That's pretty thick.
Get out there, make some friends, make some memories, and work on cool stuff. But I highly recommend somewhere where it's not cold, where it's sunny, and the vehicles don't rust. Here we go.
Even trade? Granola for your loins.